So much for the old 4 a.m. sunrise. It is now currently at 20 past 11 in the morning. So I've got a little bit of a rule when I'm out on these trips in the summer. I'm mad to get up for sunrises, and I will, and I'll put my alarm on for 3:30 in the morning if the forecast is looking good, like it was this morning. Second part to the rule is I will get up, out the van, and I will assess the scene. If the forecast is doing what it said it was, then I will photograph, I will shoot. If not, straight back to bed. And that's what happened this morning. I got up out the van, forecast was, the conditions were rubbish, so the forecast lied to me. So straight back to bed. And to be honest, I've had a really good rest, and I'm excited for what today has got to offer. I've got a wonderful location for this morning. It's not even this just yet. I'm going to photograph this in a second. And then we're going to go elsewhere. I think I might actually go more north on the mainland of Scotland to some beaches and stuff that I've never been to, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I actually did a bit of a recce of this small area yesterday, which was supposed to be for the sunrise, but we're here now. Get a look at this beautiful little lochlan here. We've got some mountains off in the background. I have to photograph this, and like I said, this isn't even the main event. I cannot wait to show you what's in offer over there. But yeah, we've got to make something of this. This is quality. Oh, it's wonderful. Absolutely glorious nearly 12 o'clock now, middle of the day. The light is fantastic and it is dancing across the landscape here. Just an absolute paradise for a landscape photographer, this really is. So what a find. Now, the only problem I'm having here is actually a good one as it goes. I just don't really know which composition to choose. I've got my sort of eye set on a couple. So the beauty of digital, of course, I'm just going to take both and pick my favorite when I get home, or use both, enjoy both, you know. So the basic premise of both compositions really is based around focal length. This is just all about telephoto here. Both shots, I'm zoomed right in at around about 100mm. And as I always say, with telephoto shots like this, when you're photographing mountains, it's almost like we're bringing them in to the photograph. That compression effect. These mountains are looking really grand in these photographs, and that is exactly what I want. So the first image I'm taking, which is what I'm sort of composed with now, is looking right back. You see that big black mountain right off in the distance. He's called Sullivan. And he's the sort of main background element of this photograph. And then we've just got a little bit of the lochlan here in the foreground, some of the reeds, and then we've just got layers of hills going off into the background. And you know what is quality here? The light is dancing across this landscape, it really is. And we've got layers of light as well. You know, we've got light, or we did have light down here on the lochlan, then the hill in the middle had some light on it, a different shade of light, and then Sullivan has no light, he's just black, jet black off in the background. And then even zoomed in at 100mm, I've still got a fairly decent amount of sky, probably the top third, because it's so interesting. You know, I cannot omit that from any of these photographs. It's beautiful. And then the second photograph is basically the same, except from a panel, which is what I first had my eye set on, really. The only sort of inhibition that I've got really is the panel is basically going from there, so Sullivan again. Then I think we've got Culmore in the middle, and then we've got a little bit of Stack Poly, which is this one here. I think the gaps might be too big between the mountains, so the panel might be too long. I don't know, but I'm taking it anyway, and I'll make that decision when I get home. I think it might actually be all right, again, because we're so zoomed in. But yeah, that's the same. Lochlan in the foreground. We had light playing on the landscape again, even in that panel. What a start to the day. Oh guys, ladies and gents, what a wonderful little spot. And yeah, like I said before, I did come down here yesterday for a brief look and I just spotted this little bay on my OS maps. You know, when I park up in a location, I just scour around and I seen that there was a little beach here, and assumed, because I wasn't 100% sure, but I assumed I was going to get mountain views, and that's exactly what we've got. We've got Sullivan again, right off in the background, and it's the light's class again. This is what I love about the Highlands of Scotland is, oh, you know, same as the Lake District, the weather can be so changeable. So as a landscape photographer, it becomes an utter paradise in that sense as well, because everything just constantly keeps looking different. It's absolutely wonderful. But yeah, this is a heck of a location to photograph. So we've got all these, as you can see, I'm sat on some of them, these beautifully sort of rounded boulders here, and they're this kind of, I wouldn't really know what colour to say, like a pale pink almost, really pale. And it's just fantastic. So I've had a little walk around really and tried to find a nice little section to use as foreground, rather than just plonking the camera down in front of any old rocks, although I still think you'd get away with it because they're so nice. I've tried to find a little section that are nice. They've got a little bit of texture to them. Some of them have got lines going across them. Absolutely wonderful. So they're the foreground interest. Yeah, zoomed in slightly at 35mm. And I'm having to focus stack this one, like 100% having to focus stack it in my opinion. I'm doing probably 3 different stacks just for the foreground, you know, various rocks as we go deeper into the scene, and then one probably final one right off in the background. I've also played around a little bit with the 10-stop filter just to see if we could smooth out any of the waves, smooth out the water here, but I don't really think it's making a difference. But again, we're shooting digital, so I'll choose when I get home. I've taken some at quicker shutter speed as well, but what a location. And to be honest, I think it's probably worth another little walk around, maybe down that way, I don't know, just to see if there's any more compositions, but absolutely wonderful. So let's get back in the van. Oh, that was quality. So I think I mentioned before, I'm gonna head a little bit north, probably about an hour and a half, which sounds quite a lot, but the way all the peninsulas work here, you've got to wind in and out all of the sort of sea lochs, I suppose. However, once again, I must find a pub en route because I am mad for a bit of lunch, and I'm looking forward. I'm proper excited for the location that I've got planned for later. Whew. Let's crack on. Oh, so I am about 4 minutes drive from a really good looking cafe, according to Google Maps anyway. As you can see, the rain is pouring. That's why I'm out and about. Look at this. Oh, absolute class. So I'm actually, you see the van there? I've only just parked up there for a sec because I'm pretty sure just a couple of minutes down here there is a waterfall, and I tried to come to it the last time that I came here, and I was just sat there thinking I couldn't remember why I didn't make it. You can get the feeling there's going to be one at the end of here, but I thought I'd stop by because I'm driving right past it anyway, and these are good conditions for shooting a waterfall. So yeah, let's see. So I managed to get a shot. I'm on the way back now, as you can see. A couple of other people turned up and they were just kind of hanging about, and you know, do you ever get that impression where they just sort of want you to leave? I think they just wanted to take their own photographs, to be honest, which is fair enough. You know, I don't really mind that sort of thing, but I couldn't really chat to you about it. But it was quite simple. It was a nice, quite a big waterfall actually off in the background, and then, as I always try to do really,
with waterfalls where I can is I just try to find some smaller cascades sort of downstream a little bit, and yeah, use them as foreground, and I did it quite well there, and I'll show you that shot now. And it's time, I'm afraid, to make an absolute beeline for this cafe. Get a look at this before we do anything. That is right, you're seeing this correctly. The pins are out, the all black shorts are on, and we all know that that only means one thing: we're going in. Oh, you beauty. So we've got still another couple of hours till the sunset, so I thought, why not? This is the last night in Scotland. You just can't beat it. I've got this whole beach to myself. How beautiful is this island that we live on? How beautiful is this country? Scotland, madness. So I have had a little wander up and down the beach, and I've got a couple of compositions in mind already. Now to get dry. So, as always, utter carnage, and well, you can see we've still got the all black shorts donned. I just figured it's quite pleasant, it's quite temperate. There's no point in going back to the van just yet to get changed, so here we are. So I've been chasing the light for the past 40 minutes or so. It's been a little bit headless chicken-esque, I have to admit, but I think it's going to have resulted in a shot that I'm going to really like, potentially shot of the trip. Just going to say it. So you can probably see what I'm doing here. I've got the wide angle lens on at 14mm. I'm filling the bottom of the flame, the bottom of the frame with this lovely little plant here, which I don't know what it is. Hopefully somebody can help me out in the comments. But the secondary reason why I've got the wide angle lens on is to get a sunburst effect. You'll see now, it's quite dark, you know, we haven't got any light, but I've left everything set up because I feel like this composition is so important. I wanted to show you. So you'll just have to imagine all this beautiful golden light streaming into the foreground as well. But yeah, the sun has actually started to dip down behind the cliffs now. We have still got a little bit of sun up at the opposite end of the beach, but this is what I said. I've been chasing the light. I've just been moving backwards, trying to find a suitable plant. This one, in hindsight, I feel has worked well because it's on its own. You know, it's a lot tidier, basically. But yeah, that's that. It's important here to say that I have done it as a focus stack. I've probably done 2 or 3 shots just through this plant in the foreground because I want the focus, you know, to be I want it to be crisp all the way through. I feel like it's important for this type of shot with the wide angle lens and something so close to it, you know. And then for the shot where I've got the sun star, I've stopped down to f18 so we get that sunburst effect, you know, which I absolutely love. You know that. And yeah, you know, the landscape sort of takes us around as we go around this bay, and it sort of like loops its way around the composition. It's really nice. But I wish you could see the light now, because that's really what it was all about, and that's why I was flapping around a little bit. But like I say, I think it's going to be a good one, and I've spent Probably a bit too long on this. I think we're losing the light now, but hopefully it's going to be worth it. So I have to show you this quickly before I move on. I was just putting the camera away and I couldn't find my lens cap, which is quite normal, to be honest, especially when I'm flapping around, but I usually chuck it in the bag somewhere. I couldn't find it, and I looked up and look where I decided to place it. In the midst of the hiking boot. What an absolute wally. That is a new one. No wonder I'm always losing the things. Ugh. Oh, so let me, I have to do a quick 360. Oh, not a soul, just me and the camera. Oh my goodness, man. There's the bag over there, dumped. Oh, so I really, every time I come to the beach, I always sort of say to myself, I won't get one of these types of shots, because I always do it, you know, at the shore where the waves are lapping and waiting for the waves to recede out. Hit the shutter button, you get all them lovely little white lines. But I mean, look what it's leading us out into. I have to. Oh, so this is beautiful. So I've just got the remote shutter on, and I'm actually trying various different shutter speeds. It's looking at around about 1 second, half a second, maybe even as long as 2 seconds. And just keeping an eye on the histogram, because of course we're getting darker and darker, but we're still about 15 minutes till the sunset. We've already got a decent bit of colour in the sky off there in the background. And I love this. I absolutely love this type of photography. Waiting for a wave to come in. Oh, there's one now. Waiting for a wave to come in and hitting the shutter button just as they go back outwards. And I've probably taken about 30 different shots here. Oh, there's another one now. And yeah, I'll just pick my favourite one when I get home. Truly, truly, truly living the dream. Wow, this is gorgeous. So I'm going to make this the last image of the trip. That's another nice wave. And yeah, thank you for joining me. It's been quality. Really lucky with the weather, actually. And yeah, please hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed it. Helps me out massively. Be sure to subscribe if you'd like to see more adventures from myself. And yeah, cheers for your support. I really appreciate it. I hope you like this last shot from Scotland. Out.